In my LEGO project series, made up of 7 episodes, I will show my designing of an Alexander Dennis Enviro 400 MMC being built from scratch, including building the template model used as a design guide for the main LEGO model. Included in the episodes are footage, all of which I've taken, are footage of the real Alexander Dennis Enviro 400 MMC double-decker bus model, on which my LEGO model is based on. The episodes will also include my building of the template model, the designing process of the main model, the final assembly of the main model, and a small tour around my collection of 80 plus LEGO vehicle models. The scale I use for my LEGO vehicle models are approximately 1:30, and for the weight synchronisation, 117 grams equals a metric ton. This is to give a proportional weight sensation with my models. I have used this dimension scale and weight scale from about 2012. Occasionally I will conduct a staged LEGO vehicle crash, which will be used as a kind of crash test assessment. When one of my model LEGO models are due for destruction to make way for new models, instead of taking it apart by hand, I use a makeshift stock car racing arena for me to reenact the banger racing destruction derbies, like the real motorsport stock car banger racing events that I regularly attend. There is some of my footage I've taken of these real events shown in this introduction, alongside my LEGO model destruction derbies. I do these for my entertainment instead of just taking it apart by hand the mundane and boring way. I am a big fan of stock car banger racing after all. One of my LEGO models can last anything from a couple of years to well over 10 years. If you're wanting to see my YouTube videos I made using footage I've taken of the real banger racing events that were shown in the introduction to this episode, then I've included links in the description to this episode. I have also included links in the description to some of my other LEGO YouTube videos I made as well. Thanks for selecting my videos, and I hope you enjoy them all. In this episode E4, you can watch the continuation of the final assembly process of my main Alexander Dennis Enviro 400 MMC double-decker bus LEGO model. Right, so that's that done. I didn't want one big long file, because if that gets corrupt, the whole thing's corrupt. So it's better to have smaller files and you could do more with them. You could have more editing, use them for different parts of other videos, rather than have one big file and chop that up. Yeah, anyway, that's besides the point. Not talking about making videos and talking about this, so let's get back on the subject. Rear seats, make sure they're all connected and the brackets in the right orientation and then the right side. That's the R's. You can see the bracket is at the back corner of the seat. Orange bit on the inside. Press fit onto there. Press fit onto there. Let's just repeat the process. So in some models I've had to fabricate the seats because I hadn't had enough availability for the parts, so the seats are made up of multi-parts to get the same shape, and it compromises the strength, so I've had to adjust brackets to compensate. Mid-shelf models I don't bother too much with, they just go on. If the seat breaks, it doesn't really matter. If the seat's out of line, doesn't look, it's all warped, it's not so fussy. But for a top shelf quality model it wouldn't be acceptable, so I've had to take measures to prevent that. But because of availability of parts, Lego parts, I don't have this issue on this model. The seats are just going in like a dream, no hassles, colour coded. The only thing I do concern with the colour is the seat colours and light representatives. Red for tail lights, clear for front, slightly orange for indicators. It's the only times I bother about for colour. Everything else I don't give a crap what the colour is, because it doesn't matter. It's the moral component that I care about. Always have been like that with all my model Legos. I don't give a damn about the livery, cover or anything like that. As long as the bits fit, that's all that matters. Very limited for colour, as I say, seats, lights, that's about it. Seats have got to follow the same pattern on this bus. I just happened to choose blue and orange because that's the most convenient availability there was when I was buying the bits, and availability what there is here. So nothing in particular why I chose these seats, I just chose them because that's what was available. But there's got to be the same matching throughout the whole bus. The only one I did have an issue that I was fussy about that I had to stipulate black seats was for the Alexander RV type Volvo Ilsa model that I've got. I used black to represent brown, dark brown, because they had dark brown seats, the tailside ones. That being my favourite model, I had to make sure I got that one right. So I was kind of really choosy on the seats on there. That was important that it had to be dark black, well, black rather, to represent dark brown. But in all the others, it was just, as long as there's a consistent pattern throughout, I couldn't give a damn what the colour of the seats were. The only other one was the Alexander AV type, and they were for blue, and the Volvo B10M City bus I used red to represent orange. They were the three that I really did care about. There had to be a specific seat colour. Whereas on the rest, the seat colour patterns have just got to be consistent throughout. That's why I term it colour coded. That's all the seats in. Upper deck seats are all in. They're all in properly. All the brackets are all in the right place. The orientation of the seats, the orange is all correct. Banister's good. Upper deck flooring, all the upper deck furniture as I call it, is all correct. On firmly. Right. So just a wee check what we've got left. Roof assembly, mechanicals, lower panels, ballast. So we'll start with the roof assembly for the upper deck, so I could turn the vehicle upside down to start working on the mechanicals on the chassis. So before I put I won't put the final panels on until the mechanicals in. I won't put these panels on. The peripherals, they're just panels. They'll go on last. They won't go on either until all the mechanical stuff's on. Once all the heavy mechanical stuff's on, then I can put all the minor panels on. And then the vehicle's complete. So before I assemble this, I'll just make sure all the pillars are lined as best as I can. A single dot, prone for rotation, don't want that, I want to keep it tidy. So I'll just make sure they're as tidy as I could, and I'm willing to spend doing it. I don't have all day, so there's only really, I've got to reach a point where I'll say, right, it's just going to have to do basically. You could spend all day on it and I'm not going to be doing it. The video would be far too long and I don't have the time. So I'll just have to accept it's good enough. Let's maybe do me a bit more tidying up. I think wobbles can maybe just tidy them a bit. You could do all that when it's assembled. The inner roof lights I couldn't do because once it's assembled you can't access them, so I'll just make sure they're all lined before I close it all up. It's good enough. It feels like it's in line, it looks as though it's in line. Just check again and again. Sure they're all. Run my finger along there and make sure it's all good to go. Yep. It's all good to go. All good to go. Maybe tidy that a bit. Tidy that one is wee bit. Bit untidy there. Actually, that Lego split. Some of these Lego bits could be. Some bits might not be as good as others. You know, just if it's been worn or cracked or something. Or it was warped, you know, of heat. Sometimes if it's the plastic could be a bad bit. And sometimes they don't clamp as well as others, but I've had to be careful what I select for the top shelf quality model, that all the bits are good. As I say, I don't mind so much on a mid shelf. But for top shelf, I do. So I'm more selective on the bits that's used in the model. So that's still good. It's just because the bus is getting bigger and it's getting higher, I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see all of it. Because it's starting to build upwards. It's starting to fill up more screen. It's nearer me. No, it's not so bad putting the upper deck roof on. Famous last words, he says. Nah, there isn't really much because there's nothing above it. It's just a case of lining up the pillars and pressing down on the pillar bits only. Right, so that goes on like that. Press down on the pillars there, there, and there, and there. I've looked round the back. I've looked round the other side. There's not much on the back. Press down there, 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 and there. So all the pillars are lined, pressed on. That's all holds the roof on, by the way. The roof in itself is a one-piece, well, monarchy design. So it's self-structured. It self-holds itself together as one bit. That's only being supported by the pillars. It's quite strong because I've laced it that way, where the beam's going across, and I've got them sandwiched there, as you know, on the inner lights going in. The hopper representatives are just remained on. I didn't need to take them off. On the lower deck, the hopper representatives are on the panels. When I say hopper, that's the bit that you know, the window that opens for ventilation. Well, the bit that you pull, the handle bit, these black bits will represent that. It's called window hoppers. Okay, so now I'm thinking on to the mechanical side. That's the front done. All is good there. Just a wee touch, tidy that a bit. Okay, I'll check the back. Yeah, that's fine. It's all lined up. I'm happy with that. Yeah, good enough. Bought models for years, so I say it's fine and happy with it, then it's good enough for me. I've said that before, it's always lasted out. And some of the models are like over 10-year-old. So they've stood the test of time. And I built this the same way as I built them, the top shelf quality ones. The mid shelf quality ones will last, but they just tend to warp more. You hear them crack more when you lift them. They don't feel as solid. So it's time to put the mechanical parts on the chassis. Now for this, it's going to be a bit more harder for you to see. To raise this camera up a bit. Because as you know, it's higher. I don't know how that's going to come out, but it's getting near the stop button. Try and angle it that way maybe. No. I think that's going to work. So I've just strapped a belt on my chest and put the selfie, or the tripod between that and my chest, and angle bit for the camera. I'm hoping that that's going to cover it. Because for the majority of this now, unless I stand, but I don't really want to, I'd rather be sitting. It's more comfortable. And I think that's just going to have to do. It's the best I could do for you. And me, because it's my records as well, mainly. I'm just sharing this with you. For those that are interested, hopefully you will find it interesting. but sharing it with you anyway. But it's primarily for me to look back on for my own records and show anybody. And I thought I'd share you too. I hope you like it. Lego. If you like Lego, you might like this. As you say, the models I build with Lego are all built myself. I don't go through the kit forms and build it. Somebody else's design. I build my own designs. Based on the real life models, of course, but in my own ways. I always have done it that way. Probably always will. I think a good idea would be to get the wheels on. So, starting with the offside wheel, because remember this is upside down. So offside rear wheel assembly, I got the airbag, suspension there, stabiliser, shock absorbers, front hub, wheel hub. In this case it's going to go on like this on my model. That will seal up the chassis there as well for rigidity. So that's clamped on. I'll put the near side rear wheel assembly representative on. Stabilisers, hubs, airbags, air brakes, all that stuff. Air actuators, air chambers, brake chambers. All that will just be incorporated in some kind of representative with the Lego component. You can maybe see that's part of the air chambers, for example. Might be a good idea to put the front ones on as well. Now it's a bit awkward with the front one because there's a fuel tank to go on as well. Kind of over interlaces with that. It's a fuel tank representative. I'm just going to base it off a 300 litre tank, 250 litre fuel tank. For the coach models, I'll double them up to get a total of 500 litres of diesel. 500 litre fuel tank. Remember, at 5 to 10 miles to the gallon, you know, it's going to be a lot of diesel. As a service city bus, it can be as low as 5 miles to the gallon. So, but coaches, maybe 10. So, what's up? I worked all out, not doing it now. I'm going to tell you the miles per gallon. You get about 1,000 miles range anyway, depending on the miles per gallon and the amount of fuel. Obviously the way it's loaded, driven, weather, tyres, friction, road surfaces, hill route. How it's serviced, if it's due for oil change, or how the gearbox behaves, if it's coming down gears correctly, shift module, shift program rather. If there's any issues with the gears, all that affects miles per gallon in real life. Tyre pressures, road surface, engine health. I think if it's due for an oil change, it will be probably more friction within the engine that will use up more fuel. Transmission is due for an oil change, it might use up a tad more, you know, because it's not getting lubricated as well, or it might not run as efficient if it's things like that, air filters. I don't think that tank's on right. I'm going to have to take this off again. Bear in mind, this is the final assembly, it's got to be right, and yeah, I guessed it came off. Damn. Just trying to show you what I'm doing. So I couldn't give a toss about what's on the models here, because that doesn't mean anything to me. It's more the component type that I'm interested in, rather than what's actually used. So even though it's got this on it, that doesn't mean anything to me. I just couldn't give a damn, really. I'm just interested in the shape of the model component that I use. So that's something else that doubles up. Officially it's used for a head, somebody's head. With my model, it's going to be doubling up as a representation as a fuel intake pump, or lift pump. So that's how it's going to be on mine. But it's because it's a little bit awkward to get in. Right, I think that's... that's still on. Oh, come on. Jeez, you peeps. What are you doing? Get in there. Right, there we go. It didn't come off again. Please, go in. Bloody awkward. Nope, it's a fusing. It's going to be awkward. God, right, okay, I'll have to try again. Ah, finally. It's because when I press down on that, it just breaks. There's nothing sort of... that broke it there. I want to use that to push it down, because if I push down on there, it'll just... there's nothing under it. It'll just break right off, and then I've got to take the whole lot off again and reassemble it, and then go through all this hassle again. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to have to do it anyway. That's good enough. That's how I wanted it designed. So it's the front axle with the fuel tank just buried in there. I know in the real life models, it's in the staircase, but on my model it's going to be on the front overhang by the axle for extra support, protection, and there's a crossbeam going across there as well, because there's no space to have it at the back on the double deckers. On the Volvo B7 RLE, the real life Volvo B7 RLE single deckers, there is room for a fuel tank and also an AdBlue tank. This will just double up as AdBlue as well, representative. Because the single decker has got no staircase, so it's got no option but to have it in the rear overhang. And because the engine is an inline vertical, there's room at either side for auxiliary components. And on the off side, it's the fuel tank. And I think on the near side is the AdBlue. Right, so I'm happy enough with that. Oh, it's a wee bit out of line. Oh no, it can't be, because that's the way the model is. It can't rotate because it's a 4 dot. So that's fine, that's as good as it's going to get. It's not going to come off there. I could honestly be here all night trying to get this. Ah, I knew it! As soon as I messed about with it, I took it off again. I knew I should have left that. I knew it! I knew it. I knew it. I should have just left it. What did I go and move it for? Blooming heck did I go and move it for? I should have left that. What did I go and... Right. Right, no, I'm not going to say nothing until this is on. Right, that's all one. I'm not going to muck about with it again. Just leave the bloody thing alone. That's it. That's it on now. I want to be pushy and make sure, right, that. Right, that'll do, that'll do. I'm not going to touch it again, otherwise I'll end up coming off again. Right, oh, that was a bit of a stress. But never mind, these things always happen. Now, on to the batteries representative. That'll feel easy, should just fit on like famous last words. It's always easy when it's not on camera, but when as soon as I'm recording it and that's the air compressors, air hydraulic steering box representative, just auxiliary components. In fact, it's easy enough to... I'm just going to take it off again, because that battery knows me about a line. Isn't that bad actually? I just looked a bit out of it. Doesn't matter if the red goes there or there. I'm not fussed. Battery representative is good enough for me. And front auxiliary components. Cluster will go in there. That's fine. Then I've got the transponder, radio, receiver, representative, which will go under the front overhang here. Tracker, all that be represented by that. And that's that done. Now I need to do the engine components and rear overhang auxiliary components, starting with this oil cooler representative, which fits in here. So these memory things are always useful as guides to remind me where things go, because I can't go any other where if they're there. So it only leaves room for these bits to fit. That goes on there. Now I need to fit, this is a bit of a nightmare, it's a bit of a pain, it's fitting the radiators in for the last time. And in order to do that I've got to break it, because it won't fit any other way, and I've got to reassemble it. Now that's a headache. I'll minimise the cursing and swearing on this one. Now I want the vertical bits facing outwards. I better to put that in first before I put the engine in. So I'll try and minimise this. This isn't for kids anyway, this is just open air, normal standard YouTube for anybody. So you get all sorts of things on YouTube, and my videos are no different. You get swearing on my videos when I feel as though I'm angry enough to warrant a swear word. Sometimes just couldn't be arsed editing out, so that'll just remain in. It's how it was, and recording how it is. Sweat and tears are getting this assembled. Oh, come on, buggery. It looks like I'm going to have to break another bit off that, so I'm just thinking half it to there. If I put too much in, I'll go into the chimney and I won't be able to retrieve it. Right, this is where we use the tools to help assist together. What I don't want to do is have that connecting up to the... Ah, you're joking, I've got it in the wrong way. Damn it! That's me. Put it in the wrong way, I want the vertical bits going that way. Pain in the neck. Right. In order to retrieve that, because if that hooks up in there, which I think it has, it's connected up to the inner roof, and that is just a bloody nightmare. Now this is real life, this is what it's like. I'm going to get other bits of Lego to the rescue to reach that. So, this is where I start. This is so annoying. Right, I'll use the blue so I know that. So that's now fished that out. So what I do is break that off. Well, actually no, that wasn't really what I had in mind. I'll have to try that again. So press that against the back, take this tool off of here without. And then I've got to turn it on its side. I don't know how you can see this, but right now I just want to get this out of here. Come on, there we go, finally, hurry, 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 hurry. I'll reassemble this. And that goes like that. Wrong way. So on the vertical, on the outside, and there's all bits on the inside. So let's break this off. Now I'm not going to yap on this, I'm just going to come straight on. You're joking. Again? For sake, put in the wrong bloody way again. because it's upside down back to front. It's not easy to work at this angle. So it's my own fault. Are them incorrect? These are right. It's just when it comes to this one, it's the wrong one. So that's got to go in there. Finally. Whew. Now that's got the sit on the engine bracket, the transmission mount on the inside of the engine compartment, so that'll just remain loose for now. I'm just hoping it doesn't connect up to the inside of the chimney top. So this is there. I've got to get the induction side in now. Air filter, etc. It supplies clean air to the engine. It could also be doubled to be supplying clean air to the brake compressor. And if it was alternator trunking, it could cool the alternator or generator. If it was a big 24 volt one, it would cool the windings down. It could suck clean, cool air from outside and from the induction side. Now that there, by the way, is pushed right in because it's sitting on its side. So for the assemble, that's easy to fix, so I'll just push that in there. I can easily straighten that out. Easily. No problem with that. Now for aesthetics, I'd rather have the angle shown visible, so I'm going to get this chimney there. This could actually get fitted now because it doesn't connect to the engine anyway, so that's that, and that was easier by a long shot. So much easier than the radiator cooling pack side. And you can maybe see some of the auxiliaries through the vents here, or the top bit of the induction. No, that sound was that loose. That's what that noise was, so that's fine because it's not connected up. I think what I'll do is I'll add the engine now, and then I'll get that radiator bit secured. So we'll get the power unit, engine and transmission. This is upside down, I'll make sure I've got it right behind. Goes in, slides in, quick check over, make sure it's all connected up. It's solid, so there's not really any movement in that. Engine brackets. It's lower engine brackets. That's resting on the lower engine brackets. Now I need to add this transmission bracket and the use of this tool to help. Problem with that is it won't fit under there, so I need a flat one. Pause this a minute. In fact, I'll use this as an opportunity to break this file. Right, so I was just getting some Lego, a flat bit here. Just give me enough clearance to get that bracket in there, which it's done very well. You can see that, but the radiator is now on top of the bracket, so that's it secured. Now I've got the exhaust treatment component representative in here. Like I say, I don't care what the... You see, in the real world for Lego, that would be the guy's head. But because it's cylindrical, it's going to double up as the exhaust treatment for my model. This SCG or SRG or whatever. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's something like that anyway. I could always research it in that later. Selective gas, selective catalytic for circulation or something. And in the Enviro 400s, the exhaust treatment system is under the bonnet. It's by the engine. There's on a lot of other models it's underneath, you know, next to the exhaust. And on this, the exhaust is in the engine compartment. A lot of models it's not. It's, you know, under the rear overhang at the floor area. Which I was quite Interested why they put it there, but then there's not really anywhere else to put it, so they've put it there. So my model will have to also have it there. I need a representative for it, and this is it. It's on the offside rear above the transmission, just where it is on the real life model. So that's just going to have to... See, the component cylindrical could also use... The guy's head could be used for lots of things because of the cylindrical shape of it. I used it for the, you know, the primary tank feed, fuel tank feed, lift pump representative. So still a part of it because of the cylindrical shape. I just ignore the face marks on it. I just turn it in the inside. As you can see, you can't see it because it doesn't bother me. I don't really care about what colour it is or what it's resembled. I use it for resembling the components in my model. These cylinders also double up as literage and auxiliary components. Because it's in the engine installation, you know, the sump being at the bottom, the rocker cover being at the top, these will be could be used as a cylinder, number of litres representatives. 7 litre engine is what's used in Enviro. 400 mmc, straight diesel, or smart hybrid. It's actually 6.7, 6-cylinder litre. 6-cylinder, 6.7 litre, but it's just, you know, I just rolled it to 7. The Volvo Elsa, for example, was 6.7 turbo diesel engine, and it was just called a Volvo TD70 engine, 7 litre, so I just rolled it to 7 litre. Okay, now on these final components, this could just be anything, like, you know, valves, air tank, being cylindrical, probably an air tank. That could be like maybe just another component in there, an under bonnet component representative, make it look interesting, auxiliary of some sort. Yeah. Your fuel filters, you've got your coolant filters, fuel filter, oil filters usually on the engine, but you could have them offset. You could have an hydraulic filter, hydraulic oil filter. Right, so it's engine but it's final time. No, I don't want to get these tools mixed up with any of the components. Still a lot to go yet. Right now, just say that just folds right in. That's what I mean. It's easy to straighten all this out, but because it's been put on its side upside down, it's so out of line. But it's so easy to put back in line. But for now, I'll just shove that in there so it's all the way. It's not banging into anything in there, so it's all good. So let's go on with the underside, the rest of the underside. Now turn upside down, just to give you an idea, because it's going to be at this angle now. Oh, still got the prop shaft to put in, and differential representatives, transmission angler drive. Quite easy in this one. It goes in there nice and neatly. So that's, stand up, show you. Right. Ballast tank time. Now, because I've put the ballast tank as assembled for demonstration, I'm going to have to take the base off. I'm going to take this apart, and in doing so I'm going to have to remove the supports, put them in the right corresponding positions on the chassis. Chassis also doubles up as body panels. The rear one, how does that fit now? Let's just figure out how it goes again. Sort of like... Ah, right, I see. I can only really go one place. You can't really go anywhere else. This is the good thing about it. When it gets to this stage, everything else sort of just is self-explanatory. There's no room for it to go anywhere else other than the correct place at this stage of the assembly, because it's so far on, you see. It's near complete, so it's so much easier to to reassemble. Now that's just the seal, ballast tank seal. It's completely sealed, so there's no danger of any coins going through there and into the rest of the driveline, or out of the vehicle basically. It's all kept within the container. The front seal, rear seal is all in situ, that's them there. Front seal, rear seal. Then I've got the ballast sidewalls, which acts as wheelbase panels, lower panels. So it comes off. It can only fit there, there's nowhere else it can fit. And as you can tell, everything's overlapping correctly. It's on the right side. Same with the other side. Yep, so that's on the right way, of course. That's good. These coins are fine, they're just going to go in anywhere. There's plenty of room. They're taped up, so there's no any. It's going to be balanced. I'll put 2 there, 3 there on that side, 2 there, 3 there on this side, and 4 there in the centre. There's no any point. It's not going to knock around. There's not any room for it to move around because it's going to be pretty compressed in there with this. Anyway, and the support will also keep it in situ, and the side ones won't move around. Because of the shape of the sellotape, it's not going to roll around anyway. There's not much room for it to. Hasn't done in all the past experiences with my other top shelf models. I don't see this being any different. So the ballast tank, lid, floor, cover, whatever you want to call it, lower cover is all fit to go on for final assembly. Nice sound that, it clips on good. So everything's more, rigid, so everything fits on tighter, much better. It's more satisfactory. You can see when it's all assembled, it's structurally strong. Everything is straight, everything fits together, clicks in with that nice satisfactory sound that it's on properly. Whereas a mid-shelf model, you wouldn't get that. It's more looser feeling, not as strong a feel. You don't get that solid, satisfactory build quality as you do with what I call top shelf quality models. And as I explained earlier, top shelf, mid shelf, why I've called them that. Top shelf sits in the top alcove, but it could go anywhere. I think it's high priority over any model. If I was going to show someone a model of something, I would pick a top shelf one. But mid shelf, as I say, is an aesthetics only. For aesthetics, it's just for visual. Like the template doesn't even, it's not even registered. It's just a template I'll be getting in the Destruction Derby shortly. But it's just more for visual aspects and some technical detail aspects. The mid shelf ones that are registered are there for the long term, which can be shown to people, or show people up. But a top quality one is one that's built with, that's when I'll display videos and show anybody anything. Good representative for the model that I'm basing off. Right, that's the wheelbase on, the underbelly, ballast tank, whatever. Just to show you what it looks like now. So we're getting there. Complete. So as I said, just ignore that for now. It's only there temporarily. I need to now fit the panelling, front and rear over panel skirts. Front panelling, rear overhang, lower skirting or lower panelling, whatever you call that. That needs to go on next, which incorporates the rear tail lights as well. So let's assemble that. Now to do that, because of this overhang bit, the taper bit at the back, that by the way is to prevent grounding in real life. Front and rear overhangs, especially the rear, they put the taper there at the back to stop it from grounding when it's going over different levels of surfaces at junctions, going down a brae and onto a flat surface and turning whatever. The bottom or rear end could catch the ground, so they taper it up. The rear tail's usually longer, it used to be, so that's why they tend to be more tapering on it than on the front. The front sometimes has a bit of a taper, but the rear, for some reason, maybe the extra weight as well, whatnot, being longer. Certainly on the Elses it was like that. The Volvo Elsa, the long taper, and the RV type bodies. Well, that was a longer bus as well. Longer version. Right, that's the rear panel on. Then we do the front panels, lower panels, front overhang lower panels, which incorporates the registration and the indicators. Or they double up as indicators, spotlights, but because it's slightly yellow, it'd be nice for indicators in this case. The orange ones are the wrong shape. I don't have the orange ones in that round, so I'm just going to settle for yellows for the indicators. That will have to be. On the Elsa, it was the right shape, because on the Elsa the indicators did have a kind of that shape to it, so I used them as orange, as I did on the Volvo B10M City Bus double decker, day size 91 to 105 with that. So I used the orange, because that's what was available to me. I don't have any of them on orange available to me from any of the stores and given times that I had available to buy them, so I just had to settle with the yellow for the indicators. So that's fine. That's the front lower panel. It also incorporates a step representative on my model, although the real life model doesn't have that as a ramp. The Gemini, I did experiment. I put a ramp on my Lego one. I wasn't that successful, it was too complicated, so I've just omitted the ramp altogether and I'll just settle for a step instead, and that'll have to do to indicate a low floor. Being Lego, there's only so much you can do with it. The wheels are out of proportion to the real life models, so I've had to just settle for the bigger wheels and bigger vehicles. Cars on my model Legos use smaller wheels. There's two different sizes of wheels for the cars. Vans are slightly bigger wheels. I'll do a proper display on all them later on, just not at this point. The buses, trucks, heavyweights for the gross weight, axle weight. You know, the legal 2 axle 18 ton, or 12 tons on the rear, 6, 7 on the front, because it's double wheels in the rear and single wheels in the front. I can't get that on the Lego because the limitations of it. I'll just have to settle with single wheels. So there's no need to have any low floors or wheel boxes. I'll just have to have representatives instead to resemble it. So I'll just heighten the seats to resemble the seats having to be raised at the back for the increase in floor height to cover the components under it on the real life model of bus. The axle being a drop centre with, not a reduction, a drop centre axle, rear drive axle, to kind of accommodate a stepless low floor entrance. On the real life model, on the Lego model, I don't have the means to represent that yet, so I've just had to omit that altogether and have a flat floor from start to finish. And as I say, I just raised the seats up to give it the illusion that the floor is raising up at the back. So pretty much the model is complete. I've just got the wiper representatives to put on the front. And, oh no, I've got the panels. They're easy. That's easy. I don't think I need to turn this up the wrong way, so I could straighten this up now, tidy this up. Quite easy. That's fine. Wiper representatives should just clip on like that. Good enough. Wipers being above the windscreen. All older buses, the wipers are below the windscreen pointing up. On modern buses, the wiper screens are above the windscreen pointing down. Although some of the Glasgow Elses did have the wipers above the windscreen, but with the Tayside ones, including the city buses, yeah, I think they were. City buses had them down at the bottom part of the windscreen. Tayside city buses had driver cab doors. Although it was a B10M city bus, the engine being under mid-floor, the driver could, if they specified, could enter from the interior of the bus, like that of the rear engine buses. But the Tayside buses did retain the exterior offside driver's cab door, although it was possible to have it the other way. With an L-set, it would be impossible to have an interior entrance for the driver because the engine's there. So they had no option but to have an exterior cab door, whereas the Glasgow ones also had exterior cab doors on their L-sets. They were sliding on some of them, sliding cab doors, whereas all the Tayside ones were the conventional, you know, doors that open out. All my models are based on all my Lego Elsa models are based on the Tayside ones that I'm familiar with most. Right, what am I doing now? Time to put the panels on. So I'll start with the, I'll use that as a bit of assistance. So the support, as you know, is just behind there, so the panels don't push in so easily. A mid-shelf model wouldn't bother about that too much, but with the top quality shelf model, it does. Trying to remember the arrangement, the hopper arrangements. So I'll do the easy bits first. It should be common sense after that for me. But away they go. Once I get one right, they're normally quite self-explanatory. So that is a hopper there. It also acts, it's got the double, you know, it's got to overlap this bit here. So that should be self-explanatory where the rest go on this side. That goes there. You see, that wouldn't go like that. I'd rather it be like that and have the longer bit because it's more strength to overhang, you know, for the overlap rather. So that would go like that. Or does it? Could either be there or there now. I'm in two minds. Sugar. Something tells me. I'm playing from memory now. These details is not always easy to remember. I think it might be there actually in the real life model, because when a wheelchair comes on in real life, I've got to get out, check, fold that seat up, and also have a look at the window and ensure the windows are open or closed and it's above that wheelchair space. So yeah, I think that's where it goes, and that's a blank window. So the longer bit there goes over there for more of a strength for the overlap. 3 dots as opposed to 2 dots. Dead easy to swap if it's wrong anyway. May have to refer back to the wheel model, but that's the least of my worries. It's so easy to rectify. Let's do the offside now. The offside. Let's driver card. So as I said, reinforcing's there to stop them from pushing in, otherwise it would just fall right through quite too easily for a top shelf model. Overhangs or overlaps been taken care of. Doesn't really matter what side it goes in because it's one piece anyway, so I think I'll just have the orange. Actually, because it's near the front, I'll put the stronger bit at the front, more vulnerable bit at the back. It's just one pillar in front, so I'll put 3 there because it's just one pillar. It's just through choice. Yeah. Think strength all the time. It feels it's finished. It feels really like a solid piece. Now I'm just going to reverse research. Checking my phone, I've got the bonnet and bonnet cast to put on. I forgot about that. That's easy. So easy. There's a bit where it was flying in the Malloc. Don't come complacent. It's not finished until it's finished. That's the rear number plate representative. So same level of concentration until it is finished. Many times where you could think, oh, it's finished, I don't think as much, I think it's hard, and then make a mistake, you know. That's it finished. When it's finished, then I could just say, right, relax. Now I'm going to go and check with cross-check these hoppers. I'm not sure if it goes there or there. So I've got it on ×1, so because I don't really it's more. In fact, what I'll do is I could actually just take the camera off. It's not on there anymore. I've done all the building. So yeah, just as a wee idea, so what the model looks like from the. Make sure that, damn it, I don't want to be showing that on camera. Who's come get off? Right, because it shows through. Right, so I could safely show you roughly where it might be hoppers. That's the opening. That's the other one above where the wheelchair space is. The upper deck one's there and there, so it's offset on the front one. So on my model, there's 3 in upper deck. They're all correct, I've checked them. It was just this one I was in question. That's correct. That's blank, blank. Well, that's the hopper there's correct. Just as it ties in with the model there. You can see the bit there is opening, the hopper bit there. You just see that one, front, 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. Destination blind there, hopper, blank, blank, hopper, blank. Destination blind, hopper, blank, blank, hopper, and angled. The overhangs at the rear for where the windows go round, curves round. So the model is indeed complete, finally complete. And you saw the whole build being done. And what I need to do now is register it on my top shelf quality register, model register. Similar to that, I suppose you could represent it as a DVLA register, because all the models have got specifications, date when they were built, if any modifications happened during it, if there happened to be an accident, like drop it or damage it in any way, it's recorded, and the repairs that I've done to record it are also recorded on a report sheet. And sometimes a staging accident, and maybe you actually go and smash it into another just to make it a bit exciting, and I record and assess the damage to see how I could strengthen them in future models. And I like that down. Here's an SA as a staged accident, or GA as a genuine accident. Like when I was moving something in my room, a furniture item, clipped one of my models and damaged it slightly. So I recorded it, the date when it happened, the amount of damage and what I'd done to rectify it. And that's on the file for that model. The model file includes the weight, the build design, generation 1 or generation 2. This will be a generation 1 because it's the first time I've ever built an Alexander Enviro 400 MMC model of bus from Lego, so it's the first generation. Whereas with the Elses, I have built an Else Alexander RV type model before, then I built another one, an improved version, and that was generation 2, scrapping the first version. They did overlap, so I had both existing at one time. The generation 1 was put into the Pro Stocks stock car reenactment circuit that I've got, which I'll show you what I'll be doing with that one, the template model. Rather than just disassemble it the bone way, I'll put it through and have some action, smash it in, crash it into the others, as you'll see in a later video. I'll make this video into series, part 1, part 2 and part 3 and part 4, and possibly even part 5. Part 1 will be the designing from scratch, the template. Part 2 will be the designing of this main model. Part 3 will be what you're watching now, which will be the main assembly. It'll either be part 3 or whatever partage you do it in, but this will be a sub part anyway. This will be a video in its own right. So then I'll have a video with a slight parade showing all the models I've got, explain a bit about them. Then I'll have the video with the destruction derbies, and showing you the destruction derby of the template model, which is no longer used, and of course the Lego will then be reused for other models. And I've got separate model bins and model containers. Model bins, what I mean by that is model containers that I put specific model parts in. So not one for each, not one for each part. There's maybe a few parts per bin or container. That'd probably be a better word. And then I'll mark what's in them, so I could, like that, for example. There's more, a lot more, but I'm not going to go into all that, because it's so much easier to find a component if they're in the separate bins or containers or holes or whatever. Just make it easier for finding parts. So I'm quite happy with that. The weight, it's already been weighed, so I don't really need to weigh it again. It's going to weigh exactly as it did before I disassembled it and reassembled it, because there hasn't been any bits missing, as there's nothing left here on the table. It was completely clear when I started the disassembly process, and it's now completely clear on the reassembly, so there's no bits left over. So it's all there, it's all assembled correctly. So I'm going to get some pictures of this, and I'll probably round this section off for the video. For the videos I'll have an introduction for each of the parts, so you know what's happening. But that's pretty much, that's it for this. That's this section done anyway. Right. This is a wee tip when you're doing model building or anything like that as a final assembly. It's a good idea not to wear like jewellery or anything with long sleeves or anything that's likely to catch onto your Lego model, because it might end up on the deck otherwise. Just as a wee hint, a wee tip. So you may have noticed that when I was doing the building, I didn't have any jewellery on at all, for that reason, or any long sleeves. Yes, I've learnt the hard way. It's happened before, years ago like. I should say I never made that mistake again. This is just one of the truck models, by the way. I'll get a proper display parade done there, and the single deck just tucked away in the back. You won't see it very well, but I'll get it all done, properly displayed. Yes, it was a long time ago, and it wasn't anything to do with these models. It was something I got caught and nearly ended up on the deck, and the heart nearly stopped. So let's just say I didn't wear any long sleeves again when I was doing that kind of work. But it was a very, very long time ago. It wasn't anything to do with the scale project that I was on now, that I'm on now. Although I've had some scares, like, as a result of that, but nothing really serious. Touch wood. Let's just hope I haven't dropped, and hope I never drop any of my models or knock them on the floor or get them caught or anything like that on any clothing or anything for that matter. So far, so good. With a scale model anyway. With a scale project that I've been doing for about 10, 11 years now, I think. And this 1 in 30 scale with the 117 grams as a weight denominator. Very minor tuning for the final assembly. The panels. The window depth on the lower deck was just a flat deeper. So I had to add flats along the tops of all these panels. That was really easy because they just come off just like that, and they go back on, as you would have saw on the final assembly. So I just added them on from that window right the way across to there, and the same on the other side, just from the back right to here. And for the side destination blind, I just moved the flat that was there, the 2x4 flat, the 2x1 flat, and I just raised the destination blind up there, so it's still the same distance from the bottom of the window. I also had to remove 2 of the 5p pieces just to get the balance, the weight synchronisation adjusted. Because it was very minor, it only required to remove all the 2 5p because of the extra weight for these flats. So it's all good. And the 2 coins that I removed were the 4 back originally in that centre bit. I just took 2 of them out to get the weight synchronised. It's the windows looking balanced now. It's the same depth. It was very minor, but it needed to be sorted. And it's the same on the other side as well. And as I say, all I had to do was remove that. That was going to be putting them, instead of putting 2 flats, I just basically took away the flat and used the 3 block originally, so it's still the same distance. So I could just put that back down into the container. And I removed that and just added all those, just these flats. And the same with the other side, and that was it. And I only needed to remove 2 of the 5p pieces to get the weight, just the correct weight of 1,263 grams, which is about 10.78, was it 10.78 metric tons, thereabouts. Just divide it by 117. So yeah, you just divide it by 117. 10.79 metric tons, or 10,794 kilograms. So that's it. It's just one of these things you notice after when you check it through at different times. And I spotted it. It was just a slight Small bit of tuning required to get it sorted. No, it looks perfect. Well, you know what I mean. Perfectly matched because it's the perfect depth. Completion date was Wednesday past. That would be the longest day of the year actually. It was just the 21st of June 2023. It was officially completed. Project from start to finish, I started on the 8th of May 2023, and as I said, it took me right up to the 21st of June. But that was doing a wee bit of time after my shift and on my days off, just when I had spare time. So I was just doing it like that. It took that length of time. If you're wanting to see my YouTube videos I made using footage I'd taken of the real banger racing events that were shown in the introduction to this episode, then I've included links in the description to this episode. I have also included links in the description to some of my other LEGO YouTube videos I made as well. Thanks for selecting my videos, and I hope you enjoy them all.